Oh no, I didn't mute it. Well, I guess I don't have to turn the microphone on. Yeah, hi, Jelly. You need a recap? Too bad. Just kidding. Oh yeah, I wrote it down this time. Yay. So last time, here. Last time, overnight under a bridge, a bunch of sumo stickers appeared there, and they sent Ito out to go. I heard you opening. I got a soda. Does it ever make you want a soda when you hear the little crack? Oh yeah. So overnight, a bunch of stickers showed up under a bridge, and they're gonna go. They're sending Ito out there to put a camera up in there, and then nothing else happened after that. Just kidding. Oh, and then the character we're playing as, stop trying to play music. Maybe this'll help. Yes, give. Yeah, here you go. I'll reach my arm all the way over there. I'll be like I'll be stretchy. Oh wait, where was I? Oh yeah, and the character we're playing as was told that they were gonna be killed for some reason, and he saw in his room one of the sumo stickers, and it opened it opened its third eye. And then the detective showed, I forget her name, but the blonde person, a picture of the sumo sticker, I think. And she didn't like looking at it. So yeah, I think that's where we left off. Quick load. Now hopefully I saved it right this time. Please. No, wait. No. What if we do this? No! Do I have to get rid of... No, I can't. Epic gameplay. Intense. This is not... I remember saving. My Twitch kind of laggy, by the way. I'll catch you up every time. No, we're in chapter 2. Okay, well, looks like we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. We'll just keep skipping. Nope. Yeah, there we go. What should you save? Oh, and I don't remember. I don't remember which one of those I did. It's okay. I think... Oh my gosh, and I'm gonna have to play the memory game again. If only I could skip that too. Hong Kong Galloway! Bunk bunk. Ding-a-ling. Ding-a-ling.
No.
And then disappeared. Doop doop doop. Doop 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 boop boop. Oh wait. Okay, and then this. Wait. Let's go back. Let's go back to the thing and see if we could go to like at least chapter 2. If we could show up at just at least chapter 2. I was sure I saved. Extra. Extra, extra. Clara forgot to save last time. Like in the newspapers. The news. Skip all that. You know, where did I go wrong in the saving? Well, I guess we get to see that thing that happens again. Look at all this stuff that go by. Whee! Let me skip. Oh no. Can I skip it? Ah! Wait! It quick saves here. But where? I guess it's not. I don't see it here. Okay. I'll play the memory game. I don't remember what question they asked. I think this is what they're looking for. I'm gonna be so good at this memory game. The summary.
ちなみに同じ日付の6年前の事件は
And then
集団ダイブだから
that one. Skip it. Skip. And then there's another one of these. BRB.
1
Yeah.
件目はこんなもんだな。じゃあ2件目に行こう。で、
Hopefully when you're
その
back.
遺体の画像が
Hopefully when you're back, it'll be where I don't know. Wherever. The second, this one. Boop boop. Boop boop. Boop boop boop. And then the other second one, is it behind my head? No, maybe. I don't remember. Oh yeah, it's this one. Skip. Then you left, you bye! Bye!
ラブホの事件の遺体の画像は
Come on, there it goes. I like watching them like go.
ちょっとストップ。
I think it was this one.
これ
Dunk. Bunk. Do you think they're oh no! And then that one. We did it. Dunk. I was so sure I saved. I like when it shakes because it's like they punched you or something. Whee! Then this, and then I don't remember which one of those I did. Boop boop boo. Wonderful day coming my way. Open the door and even the score with your eyes. And then here's this person. Clara, I missed you! Yay! Well, how's it going? My new job makes it so when you stream I can't attend. Oh no! Oh. Well, that's okay. You can watch it after, unless you're like watching when it's all live. I always watch the VODs. I feel so bad I can't. Yeah, but you. Aw, that's okay. Oh, wait. It's gonna do this. You also don't need to worry about that. Oh, here it goes. Look at it. Wow. Boom. And now we're at chapter 2. We were somewhere in chapter 2. Oh my gosh, how long did this take us to do? I'm sorry. Oh wait, where's the time at? 15 minutes. There's so much. Where? The really long. Oh, is it gonna do it again? What a treat. We get to see it 2 times. do. And then we'll skip that. So we're just trying to get through. What do you mean? I don't know what I mean.
例の動画とか。
そうか。よし、そんなら。
Oh yeah, we also saw this. Because they were eating. Oh wait. Alright, so the video that was uploaded to the wiki was footage of inside of the Love Hotel room taken from outside. So it was this one. Dunk.
で、その概要が
This is a
この動画の
oh
せいなんだ。
where? That I had that weird hallucination. Yeah, probably. It was just a plain old wipe, so why did it seem so strange? Oh yeah, and the wipe on the video of like the video in of the Love Hotel one, it when when he looked at the video, it looked like someone was closing their eyes and opening their eyes. If that makes sense. And we also saw this.
じゃあシールに関してこれまでにまとめた事件を付け出したけど、こっちみんなの現場が見える位置にあった力士シールの引きの画像は。
And then, there we go. Nearly. The close-up footage of it is the one I used for the newspaper club, so I think it was that one. Dunk. And then that one. Dunk. The long-range photo of the Sumo sticker for Revolving Dead is that one.
これも貼られていたのは外壁だ。窓はあるけどとても届く距離じゃない。
そう？長い棒の先っぽとかにくっつけてピタンってやればいけそうじゃない？
Heck yeah, we also saw this. Maybe, and now I think we're...
仮
の
Oh yeah, and they talked about Batman. In dark history. Whoa. And they split their eyes up like that, like one of those little things you look at. Or like, it's like a cylinder. And it's got pictures or something in it.
でも
And you spin it around. Dunk. Oh yeah, and this part, I think, where the words were too small and I couldn't read it because it was too small.
尾上さんじゃん。だったな。
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, there's... there's so much. Blum blum blum. Blum blum blum. Okay.
少しは
We were around here.
はい
That looks silly. And then they walk out. Bumbalum. 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 Okay, I think... Yeah, yeah, okay, okay, okay. Now we can start! October 6, 2015, Tuesday. 9 p.m. in front of Shibuya Station. Hey, in stores now. The place was as crowded and noisy as ever. The footsteps of people rushing to the station to get home after work. The voices of people talking to their... Hold on, I gotta move over for... I gotta... There we go. The voices of people talking it into their phones about where to meet for drinks. And screams of joy as old friends were reunited. It all blended together, and it all had an effect on anyone who passed through it, even for a moment. 6 years after the Shibuya quake, the city had been rebuilt to the point where there was nothing left to remind you of it. Everything was up and running again until a few years ago many people would stop and stare and wonder at how everything was new, but not anymore. The slogan of the restoration efforts, Shibuya, a city reborn, had such an effect on people that the past was beginning to be forgotten. At least for people who weren't in Shibuya during the earthquake. Just like a 1-minute walk. Oh, just a 1-minute walk away from the station was the Shibuya Earthquake Memorial. Kurusu made sure to visit once every week. We should put a flower down by the name... Oh, she would put a flower down by the name of her best friend from elementary school and pray silently. It was only a short distance from the heart of the city, but the noise and commotion didn't reach this place. This place was a somberly construction and pure, as if it wanted to be separate from all that. Today was October 6th. The quake was on November 6th, so this was the same day. This was the same day of the month. Maybe that's why there were so many flowers. Some of them were lying scattered on the ground. There was no one around. Sometimes people would come around 10:30. Sometimes people would come at 10:30 p.m. when the earthquake struck. But other than that, the place was mostly empty at night. Kurusu went around the area, grabbing up all the scattered flowers she could see, and putting them on a nearby dais. She'd done it many times before. It was all part of her routine.
どうすればいいかな?
I don't know what you do. Why are you asking me? Kurisu was thinking about what had happened a few days before, and about her younger brother, Mayashiro.
あなた、殺されますよ。宮代拓先輩。
She'd heard it clearly. Hine Arimura had said these words to Mayashiro. No, that was impossible. There was no way her brother was about to get caught up in something because of what he'd learned. A sudden wind blew the flowers out of her hand. They scattered away from her. All she could do was watch. For a moment she tried to reach out and grab them, but her hand clawed endlessly at the air. Before the feelings overwhelmed her, she turned toward the place where her friend's name was carved. She rubbed it gently. The familiar sensation came to her through her fingers.
どうすればいいかな?
But the name Sineri Minami-sawa just echoed the question back to her.
いいんじゃないか。珍しくいいアングルだ。
お前な、言っとくけどかなりめんどくさかったんだぞこれ。
どっかにくくりつけたのか？
Yeah, and he had to jump up there. Go boing, boing. He wore moon shoes. It went boing, boing.
なんか壁にくっついてる鉄パイプみたいなやつにな。
ん？
違う、それきっと雨どいだ。屋根に溜まった雨水を。
どうでもいい。くくりつけるのに使ったバンドやらは自腹切ったんだからな。明日払えよ。
Yeah.
設置する場所はそっちが勝手に。
言い出しっぺはそっちだろ、宮代部長。
Grr.
言っとくけど、データの回収はみんなで持ち回りだからな。
わかってるよ。
てか、それもいちいち面倒なんだよな。中継式のは手に入らなかったのか？
高いんだよ。
And if we tried to do wireless, from there all the way to Hekio or this place, that'd be a huge pain.
そっちは？
え？
有村さんだよ。会えたのか？
I guess. It depends on how you look at it.
明日話すよ。結構面白い情報が手に入ったから。
なんだよ、今言えよ。
そろそろ渋谷ニュースの放送が始まるんだよ。
え？今日放送あるのか？
You should have been more careful.
ちゃんと全部チェックしとけよ。今日の更新文の最後に書いてあったぞ、伊藤部員。
It was a test. Haha, I caught you. You weren't listening.
やがましい。
He hung up on me angrily. I put the phone down and checked the time. About 5 more minutes. I opened Shibuya News and waited for the broadcast to start. After that, bum bum. Arimura had waited about an hour before she'd come out of Cafe Lax. I thought about pretending to run into her, but I didn't want to go up to her too fast and have her find out I was listening. As I waited for the right moment, she got in a taxi and left. She was probably heading to the Shibuya police station for an interrogation. This was amazing! I wasn't able to talk to Arimura, but I knew I'd managed to get much more important information. There was a lot about their conversation I didn't understand, but I was right about one thing. The police were treating the incident, or at least revolving dead, as murders.
いや、警察はじゃないのかもしれない。
That detective Shinjo, was it? He seemed to be acting separately from the rest of the police force. And he had some kind of secret about it that he shared with Arimura. But more importantly than that, and more importantly than anything,
会話に出てきたシールっていうのは歴史シールのことだ。
from what he'd been saying, I was sure of it. And while he knew about the sumo stickers, he didn't seem to realize their importance. Maybe maybe he hadn't realized that they were at the other two crime scenes. Good. I really was one step ahead of the police.
やっぱりこれはまたとないチャンスなんだ。
Finally, I could have my chance. If I keep it up, I might be able to learn more about the case than anyone else. More than the ignorant kids getting ready for the festival. More than the people who had to cling to the internet for information. More than even the police. More than Kawahara. That jerk who called me a pretend reporter, and more than the rest of the class who called me a camera kid.
情弱を全員見返してやれ。
はい。2015年10月7日0時になりました。皆様、ようこそいらっしゃいませ。K さんと申します。
The radio has started. Shibuya News Net Radio just started, like it said it would. Ooh, is that spaghetti? Kei's voice was as pleasant and clear as ever. The last broadcast was after the Love Hotel incident, so it would have been September 30th. It had been about a week.
まとわりつく暑さはもうなくなりましたね。発表されている通りなら、しばらくは過ごしやすい気温になると思いますが、いかがお過ごしでしょうか。
As I listened to her voice read out all the latest information from Shibuya, I grabbed a magazine off the cabinet shelf. I'm gonna go watch a movie with the BF. Have fun. Yeah, you too. You also have fun. It was a back issue of Cool Cat Press that I'd bought, or rather, been forced to buy from Gen. Just like with Kei's broadcast, it had been a while since I'd spent any time with this. I paged through it looking for an interesting article. It was still mostly junk. 10 ways to make your ideal girl like you. How to tell your ideal girl you like her. What to say to your ideal girl to get her into your bed, etc. Yeah, heart. There were a lot of articles that were of no interest to me whatsoever. Nope, not at all. Not even a little bit. As I carefully read through these articles, which did not interest me at all, I found a small section. I found a small section in the back that was something a little different. Rosar? No, there's Rosash. And will reveal her naked heart. How to know exactly what she's thinking. The article consisted of strange, symmetrical drawings in black ink, along with a commentary from a psychoanalyst about what each said about your personality. Or at least, it was someone who claimed to be a psychoanalyst. And at the very end, There were even diagrams on how to use these how to use these pictures to see how popular you were or how compatible you were with a certain girl.
もう何でもありだな、この本。
This magazine's got everything. I whispered to myself. The Rosette that's a hard word. The test was a famous personality test. The test involved pouring black and red ink down a folded card and spreading it out to create a strange symmetrical shape. Different people would see different shapes, as a dog's head or a man and a woman kissing. And what you saw told you about your personality. But the idea of using it to determine your popularity or compatibility with a certain girl was just so stupid I had to laugh.
この図形は羊か？何々？これが羊などの毛に覆われた動物に見えたあなたは本心を隠そうという意識が強く、女の子には何を考えているかわからない人ととても警戒されています。そんなあなたのモテ度は20点です。なんだと
I snapped back to my senses. That was close. I almost did the whole test. I tossed the magazine on my desk. No! He throws it. And then, as if she'd been waiting for me to finish, Kay's voice became a little more serious.
さて、このように今日も渋谷ではいろんなニュースがありましたが、そろそろ本題に入りましょう。今日、放送の機会を設けさせていただいたのは、ある一つの記事を皆さんに紹介したいと思ったからです。
The point? What article was she talking about? I listened intently to Kay's words.
内容はこの放送やサイトでも頻繁に取り上げさせていただいている事件に関してのもの。そう、今渋谷で起こっている連続猟奇事件です。6年前の渋谷で連続して起こったニュージェネレーションの狂気という事件の日付と今回の連続猟奇事件の日付が一致していることは以前に述べましたが、この動画はそれ以外の共通点を指摘してくださっています。
What do they have in common? What? Had someone other than us noticed?
このアドレスです。
I clicked the link she posted immediately after I saw it. It was an address for Nikanya video. The few seconds it took to load felt like an eternity.
来たって。
Huh? I saw the thumbnail for the video and quickly turned away. And then I grabbed my phone.
尾上、渋谷ニュース聞いてるか？早く見てみろ。僕らの動画が特集されてる。
October 7th, 2015, Wednesday. Sakura ga Koacho Shibuya. Trustworthiness Investigation Company Frisa.
それでは今回はこの辺りでお付き合いいただきありがとうございます。わずかな時間のお相手は私 K さんでした。時刻は間もなく2015年10月7日0時22分。悔いのない一日が始められることを祈っています。
Kunasato? Oh wait, did I read that right? Yeah, Kunasato gave her usual sign-off and ended the broadcast. She stretched expensively, her shoulders cracking as she stretched through her entire body. She knew that acting like a proper lady was the way to get listeners for these guerrilla radio broadcasts, but it still felt like she was taking things too far. Almost after 100 times, she was used to it, but she'd never finished a broadcast without feeling exhausted.
なんだ
Yeah, what?
お疲れ様みおちゃん。コーヒーは？
もらいます。
Shinjo watched, stunned as Mio leaned back in her chair, crossed her legs, and accepted a coffee from Momose.
昼間の有村といい、最近の若い女の子はどうなってるんだ？
She sure didn't look like a girl who'd been speaking into a computer microphone with a pleasant voice just a moment ago. He knew this was what was what he knew. Wait. The two whats are throwing me off. He knew this was what was really like. Yeah. Her eyes met with his.
その何をしていたんだ今のは。
情報の発信だ。他に何がある？
That made no sense. Broadcasting information?
まあ、新庄ちゃんがわからないのも無理はないけどね。
Momose glanced over at Kunasato.
みおちゃんはうちの大切な情報屋なの。本業は研究者だけど。
はあ？その年でですか？
そう。アメリカの研究所に飛び級で招かれた天才。
私は秀才型です。天才ってやつはこんなもんじゃない。
それ、よく電話で話してるあなたがお世話になった子のこと？
Kunasato nodded and started to massage her tired shoulders. He'd had no idea. He thought she was pretty grown up for a 17-year-old, but
何の研究を？
私のプロフィールが事件と関係あるのか？
いや、そうじゃないが。
ここよ。
Momose pointed at Shinjo's head.
頭？
脳みそ。量子脳論特別研究員。
Quantum brain dynamics. What is that? A name given to a scientific field that attempts to explain brain activity, particularly human consciousness, from quantum mechanical perspective. Ah.
なぜ壁宝学園に？
渋谷にある壁宝はいろいろとカオスチャイルド症候群を研究するのにちょうどいいからよ。ね。
本題に入りませんか？
Without waiting for Shinjo or Momose to agree, she continued.
有村は力士シールについて何か言っていたか？
俺にはタメ口なんだよな。
He sighed to himself.
いや、何を気にしているか知らないが、気味悪がっていただけだ。
確かか？
何をそんなに気にしている？そういえばさっきもシールについて何か言っていたな。
He thought back to how different Kunisato's voice was when she was on the radio.
あれは何をしていたんだ？
だから情報の発信だと言っただろ。
ちゃんと説明してあげたら？これから新庄ちゃんとは解決まで協力することになるんだし。
Kunisato didn't bother to hide her displeasure at Momose's interruption.
ギブアンドテイクでしょ。
もらえるものがあればいいんですがね。
That was enough to piss Shinjo off.
お前な、少しは年長者に対する敬意を。
今年発表された主要メディアの利用率を知っているか？
は？
Exactly.
ネットの利用者は全体で7割、10代では8割、20代30代では9割が利用していて、いずれもテレビよりも利用率が高い。都市部に限定すればもっと上がる。10代20代で新聞を日常的に利用しているやつは1割もいない。去年も一昨年もそう変わらん。中学生へのスマホの普及率は半分以上、高校生以上になると9割5分。スマホを持っていることはネットを利用していることと同義だ。
待て、何の話だ？
普段手に入れる情報をネットだけに依存している人間がどれだけいると思う
？Kunisato suddenly stood up and brought over the mobile PC she'd been using to stream. She opened something on the screen for Shinjo to see. It was... Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Never mind, I'm not gonna sneeze. It was the homepage of a major newspaper dated yesterday. Surveillance Society Committee member sues Koshin? There was an article about a Shibuya resident suing Koshin for invasion of privacy.
これは私が起こした。
You heard her.
監視社会の問題を考える団体の一人がツイポの中毒者でな。
I kicked the desk.
同様の思想を持つアカウントとホームページを別々の人間としてでっち上げ、過去にあった効果的な判例に誘導し、複数人からあなたは被害者だと言われているように思わせた。踏ん切りがつかなかったようだから、週末に更新側が取った無礼な態度を録音させ、それをネタに炎上させた。その結果が
Was this? She said as she tapped the PC.
まさか。
No
ネットに依
way.
存しているやつが一番食いつく情報は
Ah!
自分にとって都合がいいネ
Oh,
ット以外のメディアの情報だ。
Hi, thank you for the raid. Oh, hey. I always forget, but I'm remembering this time. Oh, wait, how do I do a shout out? Well, thank you. Oh, wait, that's not. Is it this? It's not that. Do. It's okay. I don't know how to do things either. Yeah. So I don't know how many people are here right now, but I want to try. I should have looked this up like sometime before. I'll do it next time, I promise. But yeah, thank you. Wait. They go. We're good. Yay! You're good? Yay! What were you doing?
かけてもいいが、こいつは提訴に関して私が紹介した書籍以外は一行も読んでないぞ。
I was playing COD Zombies? Yeah. Oh wait, okay. I thought of the fish. Yeah! That's fun. I'm going to be working on stuff, so I'm gonna be a lurk champ. Yeah! Woohoo! Not that I've ever seen his face. Kunosato continued. The way she spoke alone was enough to make Shinjo believe she was telling the truth.
なんでそんなことを？
百瀬さんから更新がきな臭いことは聞いているだろう。私も同じ考えだ。なるべくイメージを落としておきたい。そして私が今欲しいのは力士シールに関する情報だ。
The screen was indeed showing a picture of the sumo sticker. And then
碧峰学園新聞部？
Shinjo's gaze landed on a phrase in the video's introduction. Wasn't that where those kids who snuck into the love hotel went?
首を突っ込むなと注意しておいたのに。
His tone was irritated as he remembered the faces of the boy and the girl. Kunosato, however, seemed to find it rather entertaining.
なかなかに気のつく連中だ。利用できるときに利用しておく。今からそうだな。12時間もすればこの動画に力士シールに関しての情報が殺到する。
え？
さっきの放送での情報発信はそのための仕込みの一つだ。
After what she just told him about her dealing with Koshin, he couldn't help but believe her.
何新庄ちゃん。
いえ。
He realized that he must have been looking at Momose for an answer. Just who was this girl?
あ、ダメよ新庄ちゃん。みおちゃんに手出したら。
何言ってるんですか？
He felt his cheeks turn red at this entirely unexpected response.
違います。これは図星とかではなく。
What?
わかってる
wait.
わよ。まだまだね。
有村は他に同類を見つけていないんだな。
Oh, wait. Here, I just looked it up. Where do I type it at, though? Oh, wait, is this? Here, because I always forget to do this every time. Tape, okay. Nope. It's the wrong... O-U-T... And then I gotta. Pick up a space? Hopefully that worked. Oh, what? Oh, I spelt it wrong. I gotta do this? There we go! Kunasato interrupted.
ああ、そう言っていた。
であれば、次に狙われる可能性があると分かっているのは有村だけになる。何の目的かは知らないが、おそらく10月10日に。
ああ。
October 10th. The date of the vampire incident 6 years ago.
いざとなったらおとりに使ってしまえばいい。狙われるかどうかはわからんがな。
そんなことできるわけないだろう。
Shinjo slammed his fist down on the desk and glared at Kunisato. That was going too far, even for him. But instead of getting scared, Kunisato glanced back at him with an expression he'd never seen before. Her face was cold and dangerous, like the blade of a knife. She looked more like one of the people he'd arrested than anyone he'd saved.
お前は事件の解決に協力してくれるんだろう。言っておくが、いざという時の指示には従ってもらうぞ。
こちらも言っておくがな。
Kunisato put her hands on the desk and drew closer to him.
私がまず殺したいのは今回の事件の犯人で、その次は有村をはじめとするそいつらだ。
めんどくさいな。
だな。
Ito whispered as he turned the camera around the room, and I wholeheartedly agreed. It shows up in the video. Oh, we were in our classroom after school. The culture festival was just 3 days away from this afternoon. Until the day of the event, classes were canceled to allow more time for the preparations. The rest of the class must have been getting excited because they were making even more noise than usual as they started moving around desks and furniture. Since this marked the start of real preparations for the cultural festival, the newspaper club needed to go around and take more footage of the rest of the school. We'd been on our feet all afternoon. I didn't have time for this right now.
うっとうしいな。
だな。
Ito whispered as he saw the group glancing at us from a corner of the classroom.
マジ？必死すぎじゃん。
つーか何？ニコニヤにアップなんかしてんの？あいつら。
パクるとかどんだけだよ。
パクリじゃない。
Damn those wrong-siders. Didn't they look at the timestamp?
てか、みんな思った以上にニコニヤ見てんだな。
うちのクラスの出し物、ゲロカエルン喫茶だろ。
ん？ああ。
ゲロカエルンの再ブームの火付けになった動画。例の記者の渡部が特集したのがきっかけなんだよ。
It's happening all over again. So, a lot of them knew who Watabe was?
それでかよ。
Ito sighed again. He was probably getting sick of the glances and whispers he'd been getting since lunchtime. So was I. Yeah.
宮代。なんですか？
The look on Kawahara's face said, I have better things to do than waste time with you right now.
文化祭の記録映像、どのくらい進んでる？
Oh, I miss preparations as parsnips. How are you with the parsnips of cultural festival preparations? Phew! That was all he wanted to talk about?
です。 ねえ、その
How was I supposed to answer that? We were just recording videos, so there really was no point when it was finished. And please stop looking at me like that.
なんだよ。どのくらいだ。
いや、その
順調に撮ってるよ。どうかしたのか？
文化祭の閉会式の時、バックに流したらいい演出になるんじゃないかっていう案が出た。できそうか？
No. Ito put his hand on my shoulder.
大丈夫だよな。
おお、多分
だと。
じゃあ、細かい打ち合わせは明日するから。
Huh?
ちょっと待ってください。
I found myself speaking to Kawahara as he turned to leave. I don't have time for.
なんだ。
No,
なんでもないです。
Kawahara looked irritated as I stopped him.
行こう、クルス。クルス？
Where'd you go? There she is. Kurusu seemed to be thinking about something. It wasn't clear if she'd heard him or not. And suddenly she looked at me.
タクル。
なんだよ。
For once, Kurusu seemed uncertain about what to say. Come to think of it, this was really the first time I'd talked to her since the incident with Arimura.
ちょっと来て。
She dragged me out to the corner of an empty hallway. I shook her hand off my arm.
何？どうしたんだよ。
Kurusu cradled the hand I'd shaken off protectively.
あれから有村さんと会った？
あれからって、生徒会室で会ってからってこと？
She nodded.
会ってないよ。
That wasn't a lie. I hadn't spoken to her directly after all.
そう。
What?
有村さんがどうかしたのか？
Kurusu remained silent, her lips pressed into a thin line. And then...
事件の動画、アップしたでしょ。すぐに削除しなさい。
No. Just kidding. Had she been checking our page?
事件を追うのもやめなさい。ラブホテルの一件で懲りたでしょ。
確かに警察には連れて行かれたけど、別に。
取り返しのつかないことになる可能性だってあるの。
There was something different about the way she talked. Her whole personality was different than usual. It wasn't as forceful. She was lecturing me, but instead of looking me in the eye, she was cradling her arm. It was as if she was speaking to herself, not to me. For the first time since I'd left the orphanage, I thought I might be able to win an argument with her.
危ないことはしてない。新しくアップした動画だって普通の取材の範囲だったろ。今あの動画はいろいろあって注目されてる。僕はそれに書き込むことしかできない他の連中とは違う。
またそんなことを。子供じゃないんだから。
部室に行く。教室に戻るんなら伊藤に先に行ってるって伝えておいて。
You're not a kid anymore. Then explain this. And he has a propeller hat and a lollipop. He's on a tricycle. I turned around without without waiting for an answer. I was imagining him on a tricycle with a propeller hat, and he turns around on it and rides down the hallway. When I gotten a good distance away, she said, "That propeller hat looks stupid on you."
あなたも他の人と違わない。ただの高校生でしょ。
Her voice wasn't as strong as usual, but there was no trace of anything like kindness in it either. I didn't stop riding my tricycle down the hallway. Okay. I didn't stop walking. A minute later, Ito ran up to me and we walked to the club room together. Ito asked me if something had happened, but I told him that wasn't the case.
あ、やっと来た。二人とも遅いよ。
悪い。どうなってる？
さっきもう10万超えちゃったよ。コメントは5000超え。
Whoa, that's a lot. 100,000. Huh?
マジで？
A scale from 1 to 10. How serious? Ito raced over to the PC that Sarika was looking at.
マジじゃねえか。おい、見えしろ。
落ち着けよ。10万くらいどうってことないじゃないか。
Yes, it is. It's in the thousands. That's a pretty big number.
震えてんじゃねえか。
Shut up. Yesterday, the video had only had 5 views, and now it had over 100,000. Actually, it was getting close to 110,000. The cause was obvious. It was a Nikanya News video that had been updated this morning.
渡部の記事のコメントは？
さっき見た感じじゃ炎上してる雰囲気だったけど。
Sarika opened the page.
うん、やっぱり今もだね。
One out of every 3 or 4 comments on the article was criticizing it. I took a quick look at them.
気取り屋がほとんどだな。ツイートと連動してるから、ろくに中身を確かめずに書き込んでる連中が湧いてるのか。
There keeps on being an ad in these when they're looking at it about the crabs. Just miso makes it easy to eat. Snap it in half and easy. The delicious crab. Yum. I don't like crabs. They're like spiders. They're the ocean spiders. Oh, it was it was this morning when we realized that something was going on with the view count on the video we uploaded. After Shibuya News had linked it to the After Shibuya News had linked to it, the views had gone up almost 10,000 overnight. That in itself was a big deal. It was just getting views faster than any video in the club's history. But this was to be expected. Kei had a lot of followers. After the broadcast had ended around midnight, Ito, Sarika, and I had gotten excited and quickly got in touch on our smartphones. We stayed up until close to dawn watching the number go up. But just before noon, it had really started to climb. Just as we decided to see where these new viewers were coming from, we noticed a comment on the video saying, "I came from Watabe's article." This was the article they were referring to. Hopefully I don't need to read it. These words are too little. Nikanya's... I'm unsure if I'm saying that right. In Nikanya's website reporter, Watabe had figured out that the Suwa stickers were being placed near the crime scenes. And he had a never-before-seen photo of the room at the Love Hotel from the Revolving Dead incident. And in that photo... Yeah. Watabe had realized that the photo containing a sumo sticker and that the other crime scenes had sumo stickers nearby as well. He'd written up his findings in an article and published it. And as a result, people had come over to our video that discussed the same topic.
10万って新記録だろ。副部長の渋谷復興動画の5万が今までの最高記録だもんな。
Nice. Yeah, that's true, but...
素直にこの記事のインパクトってわけじゃないだろう。どっちかっていうと、渡部がパクったって騒いでる奴らが多いってだけで。
バカ、それでも10万は10万だろ。しかもこの短時間にコメントだってめちゃめちゃ来てんだぞ。
Nice.
まあ、そうだけどさ。
Still, it was hard for me to be happy. The reason we were getting so many views and comments was that the contents of Watabe's article were so similar to ours. Not many viewers seemed to think that we were amateurs who just happened to put something together. It just happened to put something together similar to Nikanya's news. A lot of people were enjoying the scandal of Watabe and the up and coming reporter plagiarizing an amateur video. It was true that we'd uploaded our video before Watabe. That was obvious from the timestamps. Well, some of our classmates seemed to think that we had ripped off Watabe though.
まるっきり炎上マーケティングみたいだ。この渡部の記事がだよ。渡部が本当に記事をパクったかどうかはわからないけど。
いや、それはないだろう。素人のやつをパクった炎上を利用するってネットの記者とはいえありえないだろう。
Well, maybe.
それに炎上なんかで騒ぎを集めなくても渡部は十分知名度あるだろう。スクープ連発してんだから。しかも俺らの動画アップしたの一昨日だろ。再生数もほとんどなかったし、渋谷ニュースで再生数伸びたって言っても今朝の話だ。この記事なんて明らかにそこから用意したものじゃねえだろ。
うん。
That's true too, but something still bothered me. There were several conditions that had been met for a flame war to really take off. Two of the biggest were that a famous person had to be the target, and that the mainstream media had to get involved. Just having our video picked up by Shibuya News was a first for us. What were the odds that the perfect folder for an epic flame war would get posted at the article? No, I added words. What were the odds that the perfect fodder for an epic flame war would get posted at the exact same time? Ito said as he watched me mumble to myself.
せっかくなんだ。見てくれた人のコメントから情報を漁ろうぜ。ほら、力士シールのこと書き込んでくれてるやつもいる。おい、宮代、チャンスなんだろ。
Ito seemed unable to contain his excitement. Actually,
やけに元気だなお前。
は？そうか？
しんちゃんが前に作った動画100いかなかったもんね。
Ito's face suddenly went red.
別にそれは関係ねえよ。
Was that why?
見るなよ。ほら、文化祭の映像撮んのに時間取られたんだから、とっととやるぞ。和樹。
Let's see. No, we're gonna skip it this time. Kazuki looked up from her game. She'd been totally ignoring all of this.
渡部の記事の画像、適当にプリントアウトしてくれ。
Ito took them and stood in front of the board. He started to put them up. His face was still red. He glared at the images as he looked for a spot to put them.
ほら、早く動画を確認しろよ。
Well, whatever. If he thinks he's fooling me like that, then I'll let him think that. I still felt sick.
サムネイルは飛ばしてくれ。
オッケー。私も嫌だもん。
She skipped past the image of the sumo sticker and started to scroll through the comments.
渡部パクってんじゃねえよ。こっちの方が本当に早いの。マスゴミ被害者はこちらです。
そこら辺の議論はどうでもいいな。シールで検索かけてくれ。
オッケー。
オッケー。
ろくな情報がないな。
One guy was calling it the fatso sticker. Another was saying sumo sticker. Sumo sticker is my waifu. Most of the comments were talking about Watabe's article, not the contents of the video. It had turned into a full-scale war over the honor of Nikanya News. Sarika must have been getting annoyed with it, too, because she started to use her free hand to play with her Gero froggy strap. But a moment later, her hand froze.
これは？
力士シールの作者なんて KLX だろ。超着オツ。ね。
You're the wrong cider, moron! surely there was a theory on the internet that an artist named Kalex was behind the stickers. But no one had ever found any proof. They'd probably just read the title They probably just read the title or the first few lines of an article somewhere that said K-Lex was the artist who created the stickers and never given it any more thought.
このアドレスは
There was a URL among the comments that was pasted? No, pasted, of course. That was pasted with no explanation
飛
whatsoever.
んでみる？
ちょっと待ってくれ
Yes, always click on URLs, Toad. Just kidding, Toad. I took a look at the letters in the
単
address.
にアマブロのアドレスだよな
I wasn't sure, but it looked like a very dangerous page.
オッケー。
A moment later, I was staring at a page with an ugly, garish background. I looked away from the sumo sticker that was its hit counter.
なんだここ
Sarika clicked through the links on the page.
歴史シールを特集してるページみたいだね。
It must have been a lot of work to get all these. Was this from before the earthquake? Sarika must have still been bothered by the stickers because before she said anything, she scrolled down to the text-only part of the page.
このシールの目は滅びを予見し、これを未然に防ぐためのもの。2015年の人類滅亡の予言は被害はあったものの、これによって守られた？
2015年の人類滅亡の予言エジプト歴の人類滅亡説か
よく知ってるね。
I'm gonna stretch her quick. I stretched a little too much.
常識だよ
I read further down the page and saw that he considered the crash of 15 to be part of the prophecy and said that the stickers had saved
色
humanity.
使いといいちょっと来てるなここの管理人は
そういえば渋谷ってクラッシュの時あまり大きな騒ぎにならなかったよね。歴史シールって太陽嵐を軽減する効果でもあるのかな？
Idiot. Why would you believe that? Oh, you don't have to say it like that.
渋谷の被害が少なかったのは単に復興計画で街が整備されていたおかげだよこれは単なる結界説
結界説？
How could you forget that? A long time ago, we spent a lot of time looking into this.
相撲の発祥が神事であったことから相撲を行う力士をモデルとした力士シールに宗教的な意味を持たせてあちこちに貼ることによって結界を築いているんだっていう説だよ
宗教的な意味って？
Crap. I didn't know.
とにかく結界説はナンセンスなんだ力士シールって呼ばれてるけど力士をモデルにしたっていう証拠はないんだから
ふーん。
Good. I guess I fooled her.
タ タク、これは
なんだ知ってるぞ。
知ってるの？作者。
え
This, Sarika said as she pointed to it. A page about the creator of the sumo stickers.
いや、勘違いだ。進めてくれ。
オッケー。
That background was using the nastiest colors that I'd ever seen. My eyes were starting to hurt. What? Red and black? Yeah, who would ever pair red and black together? Just kidding. Claire, 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 Claire Mana? Well, hi, Yuri. How's it going? I tried my best to read that. What's this?
巷で言われているように、歴史シールの作者は K-Rex ではない。
Hello, I'm good. How about you? Oh yeah, I'm doing good. I'm a little tired, but that's okay. Who isn't tired? Between this and the sheer number of sumo sticker photos, it was clear that the page's author was a little crazy, but had done their homework.
このシールの作者は結界を築くために人類の犠牲になったのだ。
No, maybe more than a little crazy. They were totally nuts! I hadn't read a page like this in a while.
その犠牲となった尊敬すべき作者は
Oh my gosh, you can't hear it, but my cat's snoring. She's snoring. I stopped scrolling down the page. Her voice was shaking a little as she pointed at the screen.
H 総合病院にその身を置いている。
タク。
I knew what she was trying to say. I could see Sarika's shock out of the corner of my eye, but I couldn't take my eyes off the words AH Tokyo General Hospital. That was the hospital. That was the hospital I'd snuck into with Sarika in elementary school. The one I saw in my dreams all the time.
おい、宮代。宮代って。
What? Kazuki stuck her face in front of the display from the side and pointed toward Ito.
なんだよ。
やべえぞ、これ。
Ito was staring at the board as he whispered. Then he walked straight up to it.
やっぱり。おい、これ見てみろって。
He pointed toward the pictures that were stuck up on the board.
どうしたんだよ。
I tried to hide my shock at what I'd just seen, but my voice was quivering. But Ito was completely ignoring me. He ripped off a few of the pictures. So we gotta do this all over again, huh? And stuck them back up. The huge number of sumo stickers and the long, distant shots of the ones found at the crime scenes.
ここ、見てみろ。
What's so funny, huh? Just kidding. I could tell that Ito and Sarika turned to look at me when I laughed. I thought back to the conversation I just had with Kurisu. Something terrible might happen. I would keep going anyway. I would probably keep going all the way. Because I wasn't just an ordinary teenage boy. Okay. I'm like the other guys. October 7th, 2015, Wednesday. 8 p.m. Tomigaya, Shibuya. Aoba Clinic. A 2-minute walk from Yoyogoi Park Station. This private clinic, 20 minutes away from the heart of Shibuya, was loved by the locals for its homey, comfortable atmosphere. The clinic offered internal and pediatric? Yeah? Pediatric medical services. It had no facilities to allow someone to stay overnight. The wait was 10 minutes at worst. Some days, it was more common to find the director's drinking buddies were telling body jokes, and then it was to find patients. I read all of that right. The only full-time doctor was the clinic's director. He had he had 2 nurses. Stop making up words. The only times it ever got busy. Hold on. I'm gonna get a drink of water and then hopefully I'll be better at reading. The only times it ever got busy were during flu shot season and when the director's neighborhood baseball team had its annual tournament.
かしいな。ここにねえってことは。
A microwave. A microwave. The clinic's second floor. The floor with its living room, kitchen, and bath, and the 3rd floor with the rooms for the children formed the localized small-scale children's welfare facility named Aoba Dormitory. There was no sign identifying it outside, so if you just walked by the building, you'd have no way of knowing that the upper floors were an orphanage.
ズキズキきやがる。ここにもね。おい、ノノ。
もうちょっとだから。
ちげえよ。薬がどこ行ったかって。
Oh, well, I forgot I'm supposed to be reading. Wataru Sakuma, the director of the Aoba Clinic and Aoba Dormitory, looked at the dinner lined up on the table and froze. Boiled vegetables, white fish with plum, tofu hamburg steak, natto, rolled omelet with shiso leaves. The oldest girl at the dorm had been in charge of cooking ever since she came here when she was in 6th grade. Every year, she started cooking more and more like an old woman.
お前な、おばあちゃんじゃねえんだから、もう肉とかよ。
腹回りの贅肉を減らしてから言ってちょうだい。嫌ですからね、老後に高血圧治療の面倒見るの。
食べ盛りもいるってのに。ああ、しょ。
Sakuma pressed his hands up against his temples and rubbed them. If you want meat so bad, cook it yourself.
どうしたの？
ロキないか、見当たらねえんだよ。
何、頭痛？
あ
あ、確か。ってちょっと待って。もしかして二日酔い
？Sakuma moaned a little. Kurisu smiled gently at him, still holding the kitchen knife.
父さん、そもそも課長で医者であるあなたが病院の仕事手伝ってるとはいえ、見習い看護師以下で娘である私に薬の場所を聞くのも問題ですけど、よりによって二日酔いですって？昨日の夜、残った事務仕事を私が片付けてる時に晩酌してたの？
Wow, so you're just having her do all the work?
いや、仕事は俺だってしてたぞ。
じゃあ仕事中に飲んでたってことね。そんな酔っ払いに出せる薬はありません。あと1週間禁酒にしますから。
はあ、おい、のの冗談だろ。
ディン。
できた。2人とも呼んできて。ごちそうさま。おいしかった。ごちそうさま。はい、お粗末様。お茶入れるね。ゆう、手伝って。
Her little brother nodded and they took the plates. The four of them had been eating on the... Her little brother nodded, and together they took the plates. The four of them had been eating onto the kitchen. Yep. It was their job to clean up. Yui Tachibana and Yato Tachibana were brother and sister. They were the only two siblings at the Aoba dorm who were actually related by blood, and the rest of the neighborhood thought it was cute how they were always together. The Shibuya earthquake had occurred when Yu was in 2nd grade and Yato was only 6, and hadn't started school after the earthquake. The two of them had come to Aoba dorm. The two of them had been depressed! The two of them had been depressed for a long time between the shock of losing their parents and their experiences in the earthquake's aftermath. Now they'd made it to the 2nd year of middle school for Yui and the last year of elementary school for Yato.
のの、明日の夕飯は先に食べてていいぞ。
During the meal, Sakuma had complained about Nono's ban on his drinking, but Yui had told him he'd brought it on himself. He'd spent the rest of dinner muttering to himself, but by now he'd calmed down a little.
最近バタついてるからよ。
嫌です。温め直すのめんどくさいもの。それに バラバラに食事するのって好きじゃないの。できるだけ家族揃って食べたい。
あ
でもバタついてるってどうしたの？
Kurisu checked the clock as she spoke. It was almost 9. Aoba Clinic closed at 6:30 p.m., and it was often after 7 p.m. by the time Sakuma finished his paperwork and came up the stairs. Kurisu would have dinner ready around that time. But it was true that lately he'd been coming up after... It was true that lately he'd been coming up later and later. Sakuma struggled... I'm gonna get another drink of water. Sakuma shrugged and said he wasn't sure why exactly, but...
大学の後輩が渋谷でやってる医院もそうだし、ここらのでっけえ病院、代々木の AH 東京総合病院とかよ、最近忙しいらしいんだよ。の
あ、ごめん。それで？
ま、復興祭が近いから浮かれて怪我するやつが増えてるんじゃねえかとか、それに合わせて例の症候群をもう一度見直す動きがあるとか、いろいろ言われてんだけどよ。
見直すって6年経って今さら？
Yeah.
わかりやすく復興して治ってんのは街の外観だ。ここはそう簡単に治らねえからな。
Sakuma patted himself on the chest.
うちの患者は別に普段と変わらねえんだけどよ。その後輩やら知り合いやらからなんだかんだと頼まれるのが多くなってんだよ。おかげで肩こって仕方ねえ。
As her father rotated his shoulders to stretch them, Nono told him he was doing a good job. He normally looked like a goofball, but Kurisu knew that he was reliable when it counted. Aoba Clinic was far enough from Shibuya that it hadn't been damaged during the earthquake, so it had remained opened. She'd heard that Sukuma had taken in patients with minor wounds, a field that was outside his specialty, and treated them. When she helped at the clinic's front desk, the patients, there we go, the patients would often tell her grateful tales what he'd done then.
どうしたの？この梨。パーラー西野で安売りしてたの。いただきまーす。
Yui and Yato came back from the kitchen with tea and a sliced pear. She stuck a toothpick and sliced as she spoke.
甘くておいしい。ああ、ゆいポン酢買っといてくれた？今日底値でしょ？うん、お一人様1個までだったからユー連れて2個ゲットしてきた。あ、そうだ、いつものスーパータイムセールの時間変わるって。嘘？
No way!
1時間遅くなるんだって。ああ、困るな。夕ご飯の買い物どうしようかな。あと風呂場の洗剤切れそうだったよ。あの白のパッケージの。それは週末のセールを待ってる。どこの？ 青木薬局。クーポンあるよ。ほんと助かる。そうだ、ベランダ見た？洗濯物干す方の角のとこ。え？何？苔生えてるの、びっしり。それが？
What? There's mold, and?
なんとかしないと、そのうち赤谷が湧くの。やだ。私だって嫌です。というか、私が一番嫌。
My cat's been trying to climb me. What are you doing? Are you climbing? It's your pillow. There you go.
Nani? さっきから。喉痛いの？風邪？ちょっとありえないんですけど、お医者さんでしょ？
Yeah, doctors don't get sick.
看病するの私たちなんですからね。ただでさえ寝汗が多くて洗濯が大変だって言うのに。少しは痩せてよ。だいたい父さんの食費だけで月にいくら。
Wow. That was a little mean. Sakuma slammed his teacup down on the desk. He'd reached the limits of his patience.
No. よい。話がある。ちょっと座れ。
座ってんじゃん。
お前ら。
Sakuma pressed down on his temples again as he wondered where to begin. It felt like his headache was getting worse. But in the end, he couldn't come up with any ideas except to say it directly.
もう少し高校生と中学生らしくできねえのか。
は？
The two of them looked at him as if they didn't know what he was talking about.
お前趣味なんだ？
何急に？
いいからよ。趣味は？
部屋の掃除。
ゆいは？
セールのチラシ集め。
The two of them kept eating their pear slices, unsure of what he was getting at. And then they continued the conversation, saying what's his problem? It must be terrible getting old.
座りなさい。
座ってるって。
お前ら何歳のうちから初対じみてんだ。セールがどうの食費がどうの。学生の会話が。
Whose fault is that? You're the only adult in their life. Or I guess they go to school, but you know.
家のことは任せるって言ったのは父さんでしょ？
Oh, got him. Kurisu ran the Alba dorm's budget, and Yui helped her.
もっと遊べっつってんだ。ライブ行ったり服買ったりよ。
別にいいよ。ネットで聞けるもん。言われなくても服はフリマとかで買ってます。いいのないときは自分で作っちゃうもの。
ちゃんとしすぎなんだよ。なあ、隙のない女はモテねえぞ。
クラスの子供っぽい男子になんか興味ありません。あとのの姉は中等部じゃアイドルだから。そうなの？
Of course, Yui nodded. Yui went to Hekio Academy's middle school, which was located close to the academy itself. The high school and middle school did a lot of activities together, and Kurisu had gone to the latter before as part of her student council president job. Kurisu chuckled.
こっちじゃどっちかっていうと怖がられてるんだけどね。
彼氏の一人もいねえのか。お前の浮いた話聞いたことないぞ。
クラスの子供っぽい男子になんか興味ありません。へえ、そっちも男子ってそうなの？年頃の男子なんて何歳でも一緒でしょ。
Kurisu sipped her tea with a smirk.
ブラコンめ。
And then she spit it out like she'd been struck with a bullet.
のね、大丈夫？ティッシュ。
Kurisu coughed as she took the tissue from Yui, then wiped down the desk.
変なこと言わないでちょうだい。
Her face was bright red as she yelled at Sakuma.
お前はタクルに構いすぎなんだよ。そんなんだと他の男が寄ってこねえぞ。
そんなことないです。あ、いや、寄ってきてるって意味じゃなくて。
Kurisu waved her hand, annoyed.
とにかく、あの子は。のね。
Kurisu threw the tissue in the garbage can without answering.
言うとはこないだユイが言ってただろう。ほら、同じクラスの今野さんだがなんだか。
違うよ。いや、違わないけど。
Now it was Yato's turn to turn red.
そうだ、それ、どうなったの？やっぱりラブレターだったんでしょ？隠し事はなしでしょ？どうなの？
Yato shrank back into his chair, his tiny body becoming even smaller than he nodded. Yui leaned forward, excited.
徳田くんに。徳田くんにバレて、それで。
Yui's expression switched from Villa to serious.
何？からかわれた？
After a short pause, Yato nodded.
ダメだよ。嫌なものは嫌って言わないと。そういうのに慣れたら気づかないうちに曲がってくんだから。でも、もしまたいじめられたりしたら、姉ちゃんにいいな。やり返してやるから。ユイ、女の子がそういうこと言わないの。
お前が言うか。
どういう意味？
There were two rules in Aoba dorm. After dinner, everyone would gather around the table to talk, and no one was allowed to keep secrets. When Sakuma I think I switched some letters around. When Sakuma decided to open an orphanage after the earthquake, he first picked the name Aoba dorm, and the second thing he decided were on those rules. The four of them talked until 10 p.m. when Yato started to yawn. Telling each other about their daily lives was how they kept themselves grounded.
入るよ。
Kurisu entered the empty room knowing there wouldn't be an answer. She started wiping down the desk and then moving on to do the rest of the cleaning the same way she always did. Nothing had changed in the room since Mayashiro had left. It was still filled with books, papers, and DVDs. Home was a place where Kurisu felt the most calm and relaxed. I'm gonna stretch real quick. Oh! I kicked the desk! Again! I keep kicking it. It was where she could be herself and be with her family. Wow, look at that shelf up there. Above the window. How do you get books from up there? Oh, there's a little ladder thing. So that's how you get those books. Her favorite time of the day was after dinner. It wasn't what she was... It wasn't that she was uncomfortable at Hekio, but... Oh, wait. I want to double check that I read it right. At Hekio, oh, yeah, okay. At Hekio, but her personality was such that she always felt like she had to put her job first. And she liked the role she had at home with her family more than she liked the roles she had in the outside world. As she cleaned the bookshelves, she saw a scrapbook. She'd seen it many times before, but she put it on the desk and started to flip through the pages. The book was filled with information on urban legends and crimes that had taken place in Shibuya, and on the last page was a collection of magazine and newspaper articles. The magazine article was dated about 6 months ago, just before Mayashiro had left home. And the newspaper article from 6 years ago, it was about the Shibuya earthquake. This was why Mayashiro had left home and gone to live at Mayashita Park.
日付が6年前の事件とぴったり一致してるんだ。事件も自殺っぽいっていう内容はともかく猟奇的という点で同じ。
あなた殺されますよ、宮代拓先輩。
So she heard. Something might be coming for him. Or maybe Takeru was getting involved in something. As his older sister, she had to protect her little brother. But... Can I face what happened 6 years ago? Who is it? There was a knocking at the door. It was a raven and nothing more. Oh wait, is that how it goes? I don't know. She tried to take a few steps. She tried to take a few deep breaths to calm herself before she spoke. Who is it?
入るぞ。何泣きそうな顔してんだ?
Why not? She quickly put her hand up to her face. She wasn't crying. She took a deep breath to help her focus.
どうしたの?
飯ん時ちょっと変だったろお前。
そう?
Sakuma looked at the scrapbook on the desk.
やっぱあいつが また何かやらかしたのか。
His voice was a his voice was his voice was a father's. Kurisu put the scrapbook back on the shelf.
うん。あ、いや、またやらかしそうというか。
相変わらずだな。ラブホテルで警察にお世話になった後、お前ちゃんと止めたんだろ？
うん。
Kurisu nodded, remembering what had happened in the hallway that day.
それでも、なんかやめそうになくて。
珍しいな。あいつがお前に逆らうなんて。
それは、私がきちんと。
なんだ？どうしたんだ
？Sakuma sensed that something was wrong with Kurisu and sat down on the bed. He motioned for her to speak.
父さん、あの子ってどうやって私じゃなくてうちに馴染んだの？ほら、長期昏睡から目覚めてリハビリ始めた時は全然心を開いてなかったでしょ？
それを言ったら、ユイとユウともそうだろう。言っとくけど、お前もそうだったぞ。
私の話はいいから。
ああ、前のこと覚えてねえな。だいたいそんなのちゃんとしたきっかけなんかあんのか？
But he crossed his arms and seemed to be trying to remember the past. Soon.
ああ、いつ馴染んだかなんてわかんねえけど、初めて一緒に夕飯食った日は覚えてるわ。
あ。
Kurisu realized that she remembered too. Even so, how do you, on this bookshelf, how do you get some of the books out? Because it looks like the bed is in the way. I guess if you want the books on the bottom part of the shelf, you gotta move the entire bed. Even after he started his physical therapy and learned to walk again, for a while he'd kept eating dinner alone in this room. Sakuma had told him that everyone was supposed to meet and talk after dinner, but he used his poor health as an excuse to stay in his room.
私も覚えてる。そういえば、あれってなんでだったの？
ああ、多分な。お前の単価だよ。
え？
あいつのリハビリ手伝ってたろ。家族なんだから私が面倒を見るっつって。
うん。
Maishiro had refused, but she told him there was no reason for him to be embarrassed now. She had been in charge of cleaning his catheter when he was in a coma after all.
そっから前にも増してつきっきりで。昔からだ。お前のブラコンぶりは。
だから違うって言ってるでしょ。
んで、あいつが問題なく日常生活できるようになって、そろそろ学校も大丈夫じゃないかって、お前が俺に相談持ちかけたとき、なんて言ったか覚えてるか？
Kurisu tried to think, but she couldn't remember herself saying anything special.
小学生の時、学校にあまり行っていなかったって言うけど、私が行けるようにする。もしあの子をいじめるやつがいたら、私がやり返してやる。 嘘でしょ？
She didn't remember that at all.
本当だよ。さっきユイも言ってたじゃないか。明らかに昔のお前の影響だ。今以上にとんがってたからな。それをあいつは部屋の外で聞いてたんだよ。その日の夕飯からだ。あいつが一緒に食べるようになったのが。まあ結局あいつはあまり学校には行かなかったけどな。それでも保健室登校で卒業できたのはお前のしごきの成果だろう。
As she leaned to... As she listened to Sakama's words, she could feel the terror that had been building inside her start to fade away. Instead, she felt a mixture of confusion, nostalgia, and joy.
そんなこと私言ったかな。
What is it?
何してんの？
そっちこそ二人でどうした？
ユウのトイレ。そしたら声が聞こえたから。そう。
She smiled a little at Yato's embarrassment. He couldn't go to the bathroom on his own at night. He'd always been shy and spent most of his time clinging to Yui. But the earthquake had given him mild scotophobia too. What is that? Let's see. A type of specific phobia. A specific phobia is a type of mental disorder where the subject exhibits an extreme mental and physical rejection response toward a specific object or situation, such as heights or needles. Scotophobia is the fear of darkness. Oh, I thought it was nyctophobia. Wait. Oh. Scotophobia is the... Wait, then... That's okay. And it is commonly found in small children. The primary case of this disorder are experiencing trauma in a dark place or being unable to control the instinctual fear that humans, being non-nocturnal creatures, have of the dark.
ねえ、二人はタクルに帰ってきてほしい？当たり前じゃん、家族だもん。うん。っていうか、タクル兄の掃除当番全部肩代わりしてるの私とユウだから、早く返してもらわないと。あと買い出し当番も。ああ、それもだ、忘れてた。
Kurisu laughed and looked around her missing brother's room at her family. There was no changing what happened 6 years ago now.
ユイ？ん？ユウトをいじめるやつがいたら、やり返してやりなさい。え？もちろん。
She would just have to protect her family, so that they could live together again. Kurisu took out her smartphone and left the room, leaving her uncertainly behind. And here we are in some other place. Sarika was sitting with her legs crossed on the floor, looking up at me. I put my ear to the door and tried to see if there was anyone outside.
大丈夫。誰もいない。
じゃあもう諦めていこうよ。さすがにお尻が限
一石武道家。数年前のニュースだったと思うんだけど、トイレの鍵が壊れて2日間くらい閉じ込められた人がいて。救出された時に閉じ込められてどうでしたかって聞かれて、こう答えたんだ。トイレがあってよかったって。
私たちは2人だからトイレできないじゃん。
Grr. Damn it. She was right for once. Wait, how'd this happen? But she was right. I was reaching my mental limits too. It was past 10 now, which meant we'd spent more than 2 hours locked inside the bathroom. We're on the 5th floor of AH Tokyo General Hospital in the women's toilet near the lobby. We'd learned in the club room this morning that the creator of the sumo sticker was here. Sarika and I had come to the hospital right after that. Each floor of the hospital had different sections, and each section had its own lobby. So we were able to go around to each floor and gather information by talking to the people there. Well, it was mostly Sarika who did the talking. And then... and I'm gonna get some water. And then we'd heard that there was someone in a private room and in the back of the 5th floor who drew a lot of creepy pictures. I got excited. The person drawing the pictures might know something. But there was a problem. Namely, the ward they were staying in. There were 2 wards on the 5th floor. The first was the... That's a big word. Okay. We can do this. Gastroenterological? Yep. The ward. Starting down the hall from the lobby. But to get to the place where we wanted to go, you had to take a right from the lobby and go to the psych ward to meet with patients. Of course. To meet with patients in the psych ward, you needed permission from the patient and the hospital. If you weren't there to meet someone, you wouldn't even be allowed in. While we were sitting in the lobby trying to come up with a plan, visiting hours for the psych ward ended. Then hours for the gastroenterological ward ended too, and we had no good excuse for being there any longer. And that's how we got where we are now. If I hadn't taken Serika's advice and chosen to hide in the women's restroom, there were stalls where inevitably where the stalls were inevitably were stalls inevitably in use more often, some would have gotten suspicious of us a long time ago. No, maybe they already were suspicious.
少しでも情報を得て帰りたかったのに。
I scratched my nose and then I bounced all around. Boing, boing, boing. When Ito saw a pair in the When Ito saw the pair in the pictures at the club room, he proposed we start investigating them immediately. But I decided to temporarily leave that to him and visit the hospital. I didn't tell Ito where I was going or why. If he knew I was putting a priority on verifying information on a homepage run by a crazy man with no sources even given, he'd make fun of me. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. That's why I wanted to find something. Bzz. My phone suddenly started to vibrate, as if somebody was calling. I frowned when I saw the name. Damn it. And at a time like this, too.
Taku?
You're not going to answer it? Serika seemed to say silently. I decided to ignore the phone call.
いいの？
仕方ないだろう。きっと出たら面倒なことになる。
Whatever it was, chances are it wasn't something I wanted to hear, and I couldn't exactly hold a conversation right now. Snoop boop! Ah! Out of nowhere! Coming out of the sky! Hello, Hidden! How's it going? It's going great. Yay, that's good. Ooh, should I do a positive or a negative? Or none at all? This one, I say this like a lot, but like it's like a lot more obvious that you're supposed to do this in this one. 2 hours, huh? I didn't know being quiet and doing nothing was so tiring. Yeah. Serika had her arms crossed over her knees. She looked upset. Was I imagining it? Or had she been really fidgety over the last 10 minutes?
変なの？まさかこの年でタクと一緒に女子トイレの個室に何時間もこもることになるなんて。
そう言わずにもうちょっと付き合ってくれ。
Maybe I will skip the positive or the negative.
でもこれ以上粘っても意味ないと思う。
Serika sighed a little. I looked away from her. I was starting to fidget a little. Maybe because we'd been talking about going to the bathroom.
ちょっと。ねえ、タク、 とりあえず今日は諦めて出直そうよ。
Seika stood up and rubbed her butt a little.
お前は気にならないのかよ。
え？
この病院は
This was a hospital we'd snuck into a long time ago looking for an urban legend called Amy. In the end, we had to give up before we could figure it out, but if there was some connection between the Sumu stickers in this hospital.
そりゃ気になるよ。調べられるなら調べたい。でもこうなっちゃったらさ、明日からちゃんと面会時間に通い詰めて入れるチャンスを待った方がよくない？
Meh.
それは
Yep, that's exactly.
今だったらこの回で見つかりさえしなければ普通に外に出られるでしょ。
This place had an ER, so it was open all night and people would be going in and out. As long as we could get to the first floor lobby safely, we'd be able to walk right out. Damn it. Maybe we didn't have a choice.
わかった。とりあえず
Bzz. Bzz. My phone vibrated again. Why is it doing that? I thought it was Kurisu calling me again, but it wasn't. I checked once again that there was no one in the restroom and answered the phone.
もしもし。
おい、宮代。お前、今どこにいる？
どうした？
副部長が事件を追うのはやめなさいって切れてるぞ。
Seriously?
今、あなたたちは何してるんだって問い詰められた。てか、怒鳴られた。怖かった。
お前、まさか。
Yeah, Ito said.
全部喋った。そしたら、設置した監視カメラを外しなさい。いや、私が今すぐ外しに行くっつって電話切られた。
お前、そこは耐えろよ。
無理言うなよ。思わず副部長に敬語だったぞ、俺。
Grr, damn it, that coward! Well, I knew how he felt.
とりあえずお前のことは何か別に気になったことがあったみたいで、尾上と一緒にそれを調べてるみたいですって言っておいたから。何してるか知らねえけど、副部長に殺される前に謝っとけよ。てか、電話に出てやれ。
He hung up before I could say anything. It was clear he wanted to stay out of this. With nothing else to do, I put away my phone.
のんちゃん、元気出たんだ。よかった。
Serika looked happy. She must have overheard the conversation.
いや、よかったじゃないよ。
でも、のんちゃんらしいよ。
Serika nodded to herself, satisfied. She really did look
お
happy.
前、どっちの味方なんだ？
タクだよ。タクだって、のんちゃんが元気ないの嫌でしょ？
そりゃ、いや、いい。
タク、行くの？
言っとくけど、諦めたわけじゃないからな。
I just didn't feel like I was going to find out anything more by staying here. I'd just come back tomorrow during visiting hours and dodge Kurisu somehow. Somehow.
よし。
Some way. There was no one around. The nurse at the nurse's station was staring at her PC. If we crouched down, she wouldn't see us. I motioned to Serika, and we quietly left the bathroom and started for the lobby. We made it across and arrived in front of the elevator. Whoa. I looked ahead and saw an automatic door with thick frosted glass. The psych ward lay beyond it. Next to it was a control terminal with an intercom. When visiting, you would say your name and have them unlock the door from the inside. During visiting hours, I'd been sitting in the lobby waiting for the automatic door to open. I tried to see if there was a way to sneak in alongside another visitor, but had ran out of time before I'd gotten the chance.
タク、しょうがないよ。出直そう。
Serika must have noticed me staring at it because she motioned for me to leave. She was right. If we use the elevator, they might notice the sound. We'd just have to take the stairs. How many stairs are there? Whoa.
Huh?
What happened? It made some beeping noise. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, boop. Serika stopped just before she reached the stairs.
いや、今。
I heard a beeping noise coming from the automatic door. Someone was coming out. I dragged Serika out into the landing for the stairs. That was weird. I didn't hear any footsteps. Huh? The door was opened, but nobody was there. Huh? I took a look around the corner and saw that the door was open.
なんで?
Yeah, why did it do that? It was definitely open, and there was no sign that anyone had come out. I could see deeper into the ward. Now that the frosted glass was out of the way, the hallway was dark and was long past lights out. Why? Why had it opened? Was it set to open automatically from the inside? And someone had walked close enough to trip the sensor? I hadn't seen anyone pass by. I nodded at Serika as she pointed down the stairs. Someone was coming up. What should we do? There wasn't enough time for the elevator to get here. The lobby was out of the question. Should we go upstairs? Or would we be safe if we just walked downstairs and acted like nothing was wrong? The dark hallway seemed to be beckoning to me. There were no guards or nurses around it. Get on in there. Run on in there. I have a flashback. Some time laugh a little. Laugh a little. I grabbed Sarika's hand and ran. I can do it. And ran straight for the open door. Sarika was behind me, so I can tell if she nodded or not. I ran faster so I wouldn't have to hear my heart pounding, and a moment later, we were inside the psych ward. As I listened to the door shut behind me, I moved up next to the wall and took a look around. It was too dark to see all the way to the end of the hallway, but there didn't seem to be anyone there. The green of the emergency exit reflected off the floor, bathing us in dim light. I realized that I was still holding Sarika's hand. I quickly let go, and she turned her hand toward the wall.
Huh?
She was pointing at a simple map of the ward. It showed the nurse's station, the exam rooms, and what were probably the numbers for the patients' rooms.
確か絵描きって奥の個室に入院しているんだよな。
Sarika nodded, but the map didn't say if the rooms were singles or not. I looked at the doors in front of me. There were plates with what looked like two patient names. These rooms were doubles, which meant that any room with the same layout was also probably a double. I looked back at the map. Where were the private rooms?
ここら辺だ。くそ、やっぱり奥の方だな。
Gotta run all the way down there. Bad day to forget your rollerblades. Or roller skates, whatever they're called. Sarika pointed further down the hall. With Sarika behind me, I turned to the side and started to walk quietly as I could. That weird scent unique to hospital was stinging my nose. I was used to it, but it was still a little creepy. And it was too quiet. If this was a psych ward, I expected to hear some crazy screaming or something. Yeah.
いくら閉鎖病棟とはいえ、大半は高齢の認知症の人たちだろうし。
You wouldn't expect the patients to be screaming 24 hours a day, especially after lights out. But what's with the air here? It's like the hotel. No, it didn't matter. It was just another dim hallway. I wasn't going to the scene of a crime this time.
Huh?
Well, I guess technically you are, but you started the crime. You broke and entered. And then I realized, come to think of it, when I'd gone inside the Love Hotel, I'd first tried to get past the door, then almost given up. I turned around and saw the empty hallway stretching out before me, past a confused Sarika. The amount The automatic door was on the other side of the corner.
あの時も鍵が勝手に。
Whoa. That's right. The door to the hotel had opened on its own, just like the automatic door here. The police had told me I'd been mistaken, but maybe it really was real.
どうしたの？
いや、
I realized that I'd stopped moving. Crap. Was that a nurse?
こっち。
They just went in one of the rooms.
ああ、松下さん、点滴逆血してたよ。
え、またですか？外しちゃってました？
それがね。
I could hear what sounded like two nurses in the hallway.
バレちゃった？
Possibly. Oh. I guess they didn't. I listened carefully. They seemed to be talking about a patient. Good. They hadn't found us. We would have to stay here until they left.
タク、そういえばさ。
I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard to read. I'm also a little tired. Maybe when we find like a good stopping point. Which I don't know when
昔
that would
忍び
be.
込んだ時ってどこに行ったか覚えてる？
I took my ear off the door.
そりゃ覚えて。いや、具体的にどこか覚えてないな。
I tried to think back to what I'd seen so many times in the dream. It was 8 or 9 years ago now, about that long ago. I was still in elementary school.
この平等じゃなかったとは思う。
I couldn't remember how we got in exactly, but I didn't remember sneaking through an automatic door. And
あれは精神科に見られるような治療じゃなかった。
actually, I don't think I could even call that treatment whatever it was.
どうした？
I was about to ask before I saw her face and realized what was wrong.
大丈夫か？
大丈夫だよ。
She clearly wasn't okay. Did she remember what happened before? Come to think of it, actually, she tried to act strong and failed last time too.
大したことじゃない。絵描きの情報を確かめて帰る。それだけだろ。
The nurses must have finished talking because I could hear the footsteps getting further away.
よし。
Sarika stopped her cheeks with her hands to try and snap herself out of it.
行こう、タク。
あ。
When we got to the room, the dim light of the emergency exit lamp was shining down on it.
ここ？
I nodded. This was probably the place. It was a private room in the back, and there were no nameplates on the private rooms we passed.
開けるぞ。
There was no time to hesitate. We could run into a nurse at any moment. I looked to the left and right and checked that there was no one there before opening the door. It was a dark room with no lights. There was enough light to see my hands, but not my feet. Hmm.
誰もいない。
I guess there isn't anyone here. The bed against the wall was empty. The blanket was rolled up. Sarika looked over to see if I saw. Was this not the
他
place?
の部屋を探してみるか。
I went to leave when Sarika grabbed my arm.
なんだよ。
タク、あれ。
え？
Sarika pointed at the back wall of the room. Her hand was shaking a little. It was too dark to see. I softly crept forward to get a better look. Whoa. Look at all those. Boom.
なんだこれ。
What does it look like? The whole wall. The whole wall was covered with drawings of the sumo sticker in what looked like red paint.
気持ち悪い。
Sarika grabbed onto my arm. The warmth reminded me that I wasn't alone. That made me feel just a little better. If I'd seen this alone, I might have screamed and gone crazy.
この匂いは。
I noticed that there was an unpleasant scent coming from the red paint on the wall. What they use to paint with. I took another step forward. And then I realized. What is it? Tell us. What'd you realize? I put my hand in front of my mouth to stifle a scream. And then another hand in front of Sarika's mouth to stop her from screaming too. Sarika ripped my hand away from her mouth and clung to me tighter.
これ絵の具じゃない。
What is it? Spit it out.
血だ。
Oh my god, it's blood! This strange smell like rust was the same thing I'd smelled at the Love Hotel during the revolving dead incident. Who had drawn these? Who would draw something like this? And in blood? I imagined someone locked in a dim room, endlessly drawing paintings in blood on a blank wall, and a shiver went down my spine. I got goosebumps all over my whole body. Oh.
やばい。
It's dangerous. What's telling you that? There was something very wrong with this room. Now, what could possibly be wrong with this room?
Huh?
I suddenly realized I was holding a smartphone in my quivering hand. And without even realizing it, I pushed the record button and started filming the drawings on the wall.
違う。こんなことしてる場合じゃ。
Yeah, not the time. Sarika tried to drag me back, but my body wouldn't move. I knew it was dangerous to stay here, but I couldn't move. Sarika was saying something behind me, but while I could hear the sounds, I couldn't understand what they meant. And then... Whoa. I heard a sound from somewhere in the dark room. It was the sound of someone scratching something. I gulped. My body froze up even more.
今どこかで音が誰だよ
Someone was in here with us. Someone was in this room. In the darkness. I could hear the sound of something hard being scratched again. But the sound bounced off the walls of the square room, and I couldn't tell where it was coming from. I desperately searched around the room, eyes cloudy with terror. Where is it? Oh, there they are. We found them. How long had they been there? A girl was crouching on the floor alone with her back to us. She was right next to the bloody sumos, a hand wrapped around her knees, and she was staring at her feet. She was staring at a drawing of a sumo sticker. It was too dark to tell for sure, but I thought I saw something dripping off her finger. That was blood! She cut her finger to draw that? She was drawing those pictures.
Huh?
I couldn't speak. My throat wouldn't work. I had questions to ask her. Who are you? Oh, did you draw all those stickers all over town? Why are you drawing those? But I just couldn't speak. The strange sight before me filled me with incredible terror. I was overcome by the idea that if I talked to her now, if she turned around, she would transform into something else and attack me. I heard my name and turned towards Serika. Her hand was clinging my arm tightly.
どうしたの？
おの
急に怖い声出して何かあったの？
何かってお前あれ
Shaking, I pointed at the girl on the floor. But there was no one there. I was standing in the middle of the hospital room, shaking and staring at the drawings of the sumo sticker design on the wall. My hand had numbly lowered, and my smartphone was recording only my crotch. Stop that.
大丈夫？
Serika looked at me worried.
あの女の子は
女の子って何？
今そこにいただろ
But there was no one in the direction I was pointing. Just eerie pictures in an empty room.
やだ！怖いこと言わないでよ。
じゃあ今のはただの妄想
Or maybe whoever had drawn the bloody pictures on the wall was already dead. But some trace of their spirit was bound into those paintings and trapped inside the room? No, that was way too paranormal for me. It was impossible. But I couldn't get the image of the crouching girl I thought I had seen out of my mind.
お前行こうここは多分良くない
What's telling you that? Just kidding. I took Serika's hand and slowly started to walk backward. They walked backwards all the way out of there and kept walking backwards all the way home. It felt like if I made a sound, all of the eyes on the sumos drawn on the wall would open and stare at me. We made it back to the door and jumped out into the hallway. I'm gonna get the heck out of there. I could hear frantic voices down the hallway. The hospital staff must have heard my screams. They probably thought something had happened to a patient. They were going to find us. Huh? Did I just hear a sound from the emergency exit? Serika jumped onto the floor. A door? Dunk. I could finally hear the voices of the nurses running back and forth across the hallway. Evidently, they hadn't found us. I could hear Serika take a sigh of relief in the darkness. I used the light from my smartphone to look around. We were on the landing of a staircase. This was probably the emergency stairs. Serika looked down, illuminating the stairs with her own phone. Why? Huh?
なんで開いてたんだ?
非常口だからでしょ?
でも閉鎖病棟だぞ.
If they were keeping the automatic door locked, there was no way they wouldn't lock the emergency exit.
きっと閉め忘れだ.
Huh?
Did they? Could we really get that lucky? I was sure I heard a sound.
たく、それより今はここから出ないと.
Serika pointed down the stairs.
ああ、そうだな.
I used the light from my phone to look at the knob of the emergency door. Good. It was the type that opened from the inside. The other doors probably were too.
下へ降りて出口を探そう.
OK.
Yeah.
たく、さっきの壁の絵。
Serika was probably thinking the same thing I was. Was that where the crater of the sumo stickers was kept? Or someone who had something to do with the case? But in the end, I had no answer. There was a whole wall of sumo sticker images drawn in someone's blood. That was the only information we had. Serika seemed to understand that as well, because she didn't ask any more questions.
よし、開いた.
I unlocked the door and quietly opened it, then peered down the hallway beyond. There was a guy there. I ducked without even thinking. I placed my hand on the open door to support myself and then quickly yanked my body back inside toward the stairs. Why?
なんであの二人がここにいる?
Oh yeah. There was no mistaking it. Those were the two that Ito had noticed in the club room this morning. Sarika stuck her head out just a little and saw them too. She dropped down. I put my hand over my mouth before she could finish. I know, so don't make any noise. Why were they here? Was there some connection between them and the sumo stickers after all? I could hear footsteps. Theirs. I couldn't move. They'd hear me. I froze and concentrated on what I was hearing. Good. They're heading further away. Ding. Should have put it on silent. Oh! Ding. Oh no. They were getting closer. Who were those two? What were they doing here? Maybe... For a moment, I felt incredibly cold, like my whole body had gotten smaller. The hand I was holding against the door was slippery with sweat. My heart was pounding loudly, and it hurt to breathe. No! No! Oh, there's an eyelash in my eye. Hold on. I'm not crying. There's an eyelash in my eye. Oh, there we go. Suddenly, my frozen body was yanked upward. I stumbled and tripped, then was yanked up again. Just as Sarika kicked open some kind of door and dragged me through, I saw them pick up my phone. Well, it's their phone now. I collapsed right onto the ground. I wanted to catch my breath, but it wasn't working. My legs were shaking from exhaustion, and my hands were shaking from the still lingering terror. It was all I could do to muster a feeble nod. I had no idea why, but my hand was shaking. My hand shaking made me really mad. I slammed them into the asphalt. Damn it! How? What were they doing there? And now they had my smartphone with all its data? It couldn't be a coincidence.
しんちゃん、もしもし、尾上です。どうしたの？
よし。
My breathing had calmed down. Tunnel. Do you like to go through tunnels? I like going through tunnels. Sometimes. I needed to get my thoughts in order. The phone had locked... Oh, okay, the phone had a lock on it. They wouldn't be able to do anything with it immediately. It was clear that the sumo stickers were involved somehow in particular.
まだ事件が起こっていないのに、壁一面に貼られた力士シールが引っかかるな。
Come to think of it, Kurusu said she was going to take down the security camera. What happened with that? Sarika turned around, moving very slowly.
どうした?
Did that... what did that expression mean? Sarika looked away from me for a moment, and then back, as if afraid of something painful.
のんちゃんが刺された。あ、タクル兄ちゃん。
来るさあ。
Yui pointed toward the exam room in the bath with a pained expression. Yeah, painted. She painted her expression. With a pained expression on her face. Damn it! Why can't it be happening? Just kidding. What? Again?
なんで？いや、来るぞ。
静かにしなさい。
She's sleeping.
一応病院なんだから。
Was she okay?
タクル。
何？
靴脱ぎなさい。
え？あ、ごめん。
I'd forgotten to take them off when I came in so quickly. Yanked them off my feet. I quickly yanked them off my feet. Okay, you know what? Let's save right here. I am super tired. And I keep reading everything wrong. I'm also not really reacting much to stuff. So I think we're gonna do that. Quick save! And then save. Right there. Right there. Don't forget it. Okay. Now let's see. Is there anyone? Yes. Okay, let's go. And we're gonna raid and have fun.